Good afternoon. This is Cody with our Biomechanics Journal Club 7. This week's article is on kinematics and muscle activity when running in partial minimalist, traditional, and maximalist shoes by Becker and Borgia. The purpose of their research was to evaluate the differences in kinematics uh, at the hip, knee, and ankle. Those were the three primary areas in which they looked at it across all different planes, the transverse, the sagittal, and the frontal, and as well as the muscle activity in 7 different muscles when people were running in 3 different shoes. The different shoes they had were partial minimalist, traditional, and maximalist shoes. This study consisted of 13 participants that self-reported running 20 miles a week and were free of injury. The main findings of this study was that each shoe was relatively the same in the terms of kinematics, with minor differences in muscle activity. They did have some statistically significant differences in the sagittal and frontal plane ankle kinematics, whereas because of the max shoes, they exhibited less dorsiflexion at the foot strike and less peak dorsiflexion during stance. The Max shoes also had more peak gluteus medius RMS amplitude across the entire gait cycle, which could mean that an individual or runner wearing those maximalist shoes would require more energy uh, in order to run. So some of the biomechanics concepts that were used, obviously the newest that we would be familiar with were the different planes and how they assess the kinematics across those different planes. The easiest way that I can help remember the planes is what would be the best way to view the motion. So they viewed the kinematic motion in the specific planes to give them the best vantage point. We also saw some ground force reaction and muscle activity through EMGs. Um, but one of the more surprising things that I found uh, during while reading the article is that of the participants, all self-reported running 20 miles per week. Um, the participants all ran at a 10-minute interval at a 3 meter per second pace, which is roughly around 6 miles an hour. Um, but all of them running at the same speed was interesting because even though they're all logging the same amount of hours per week, they may not be running that same pace. Uh, so I feel like it may have been a bit interesting or uh, more informative if they used heart rate to gauge whether the individual was at a high effort level or not. Because somebody running at 3 meters per second uh, could be relatively difficult compared to somebody else. Although all of the participants did self-report that pace was slower than their daily runs. So still a bit of interest to me. And one question that the article raised is how might a long distance run or an ultra distance run show on these types of shoes? They mentioned that the experienced runners, uh, but an ultra marathon is much longer than what these individuals may be prepping for or training for. An ultra marathoner runs probably 50 miles a week or 100 miles a week compared to the 20. So would the muscular fatigue play a role in the joint kinematics across the different shoes over time? I understand it may be difficult to assess in a clinical setting, but still uh, would be interesting to see. So yeah, thanks.